Snowflakes are falling, winter is approaching, and a cozy, fun holiday is upon us. And I figured, what better time than now to tell you the tale of my all-time favorite survival horror game. Yeah, I got you fooled, didn't I? Once upon a time, Capcom knew what they were doing with the Resident Evil franchise. No, we don't talk about those anymore. And with that knowledge of creating survival horror games, they created a blessing from the heavens that all gamers agreed was divine. So, let me introduce you to the holy grail of Capcom's gaming library, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is a third-person survival horror game, and yes, there is an extra emphasis on horror game. If you can't handle stressful and horrifying situations, well, you better sit this one out, bucko, cause as soon as you boot up the game, this horror train can't stop and won't stop till you're fully traumatized. Our spooks begin in a car in some godforsaken place in Europe. You're Leon S. Kennedy, a tall glass of handsomeness, on a mission to save the president's daughter, Ashley. Unfortunately for him, this seemingly friendly Spanish town specializes little in funny hats and maracas and more in pitchforks and knives. These people also seem to have some sort of tapeworm gone wrong, so better buckle up for that too. Jesus Christ! Something fishy and culty is going on, and it's up to Leon to unveil their evil scheme and save the day. And what better idea than to send a single man into an entire village? Because we all know that Leon S. Kennedy is the one-man army. The story is there to be an excuse for you to blow stuff up and kill people, but at least it serves as a backdrop to your adventure. A really corny backdrop.
Sorry I couldn't get in touch sooner, but I was a bit tied up. Thanks. That should keep me company, 'cause boredom kills me.
No way, Leon.
Way?
This game may be called Resident Evil 4, but it doesn't really have too much to do with the rest of the franchise. The intro to the game gives a helpful recap of the previous events, so just pay attention to that and you'll be up to date. This game is friendly to both newcomers and veterans. Saving the president's daughter isn't your everyday mission, and throughout it you'll encounter tapeworms, cat ladies, a good boy, nagging mom, why does the Ravens have money, my appearance during sexual intercourse, QuickTime events, tiny people, big people, Finding Nemo, perverts, and the spawn of Satan himself. Once you're thrown into the heartland of this dank and depressing world, you better get ready to shoot your way to victory, cause bullets seems to be the only thing these jerks understand. Resident Evil 4 is very much a shooter game, and being able to land those headshots can be the difference between life and death in any given situation.
Gotcha, bitch!
But just being a god gamer at shooting isn't all that's needed. You need to know where your enemies are as well. Spatial awareness is key to getting through this bad ordeal, so keep calm and don't lose your head. Shooting isn't the only thing this handsome hunk can do. Now introducing kicking. If you hit your enemies in either the head or the feet, they'll use some time to recover. In this span of time, you can swing those buns of steel around and knock them down. This isn't the only tools that Leon has available. Instead of having friends, Leon has knives, and they're more valuable than any friend he could ever wish for. Although the knife lacks range and damage, it is pretty nifty in certain situations. Here's a combo for all you cool kids out there. You knock the enemies into the ground and then you knife them until they're dead, so you save your bullets. Your mother may have thought you that knifing a man when he's down is being a coward, but listen here, your mother hasn't played Resident Evil 4, and if you see a lone man on the ground, you knife him down. Throughout your adventure, you'll get multiple weapons that are all effective in certain situations. You may also upgrade your weapons, but these are costly, so do it for the weapons you find the most useful useful, but you can never go wrong with the shotgun, just FYI. You buy these upgrades along with other wares from the sexiest man in this part of Europe. Oh my, aren't you just a beast of a man?
He's
Not only will he sell you stuff, he will also buy junk from you. On your journey, you'll come across tiny little treasures that only serve to give you that cash flow. And you're gonna need all the money your grubby little hands can grab.
Money, money, money. Must be funny in a rich man's world.
Is that all, stranger?
Money, money, money. Always sunny
Thank you,
in a rich man's world.
Ranger.
Oh, oh,
Now that's a weapon.
all the things I could do.
The primary mission for Leon is to save the president's daughter, Ashley. Saving her is a type of ESCOM mission, and yes, I'm not kidding you. Luckily, this is only short snips of the game, so she's not gonna stay with you for too long. Eventually, the power of the plot kicks her out of your gameplay. Ashley has her own health bar, and if that depletes, well, game over. The same applies if either an enemy kills her or, well, you do. If an enemy picks her up and leaves the area with her, it's game over as well, so get those gropey hands away from her and we're all Gucci. Lucky for you, Ashley is an obedient little puppy. She'll follow you when issued the command and stays put until you summon her evil being again. You can even make her hide in a garbage container, where she belongs, until you've gone ballistic and killed everyone.
It's Britney, bitch.
One element that's incredibly important if you don't want to run out of bullets and be turned into a piñata by the locals is exploring your environment for items needed for your survival, hence the survival horror game genre. Ammo and herbs are littered everywhere you go and are also hiding inside barrels, crates and vases. Do not neglect to do this even if you just want to blast your way through everything, because eventually you'll run out of the items needed for blasting. Also, on the note of herbs, whenever Leon takes damage, all you have to do is smoke some dank weed and he'll be ready to kick some more ass. The Resident Evil franchise is known for incorporating puzzles, and this game is no exception. They can be, well, pretty much anything, but if you can't see the immediate solution to it, try exploring the environment as it always contains some kind of hint. Most puzzles are quite easy, but if you by any chance can't solve it, there's this really cool place called the internet that might have the solution. Resident Evil 4 introduces the most difficult obstacle Leon has to overcome yet.
Inventory management.
Leon does not have an endless void in his rear where he just shoves up everything he collects. No, you need to manage your inventory along with your patience. If the game sees that you do not have an available space for a new item, it will prompt you to either make room for it or you'll have to drop it. Remember, you can rotate all items until they fit, or you know, you can just straight up buy a bigger suitcase. If you enjoy putting your controller down while cutscenes are playing, you better think again. Resident Evil 4 is infested with quick time events, and if your potato fingers don't react quickly enough, it often means death. Quick time events aren't limited to cutscenes, as they even appear in gameplay segments, which doesn't help when you're already stressed out by this freaky music. Oh my god, please make it stop! When you're done with the main game, the fun doesn't stop there. Completing the game once unlocks a bunch of extra stuff, like separate ways, mercenary missions, costumes, new game plus, and even more difficulty. Cause we really needed that, huh, Capcom? Here's a major tip for all your casuals out there. If you want to just have some fun, experience some horror, and shoot to your heart's content, play on easy mode. There is no shame in that whatsoever, and sometimes I regret having played it on normal myself. But if you want to keep that get good gamer integrity you all think you have, go ahead, choose normal. Get your luscious hair waxed, put on some sunglasses, cause baby, it's about to get crazy in here. It's about time to give you some tips and tricks that might make your playthrough a little less annoying. When the freaky music stops, that's usually an indicator that all the enemies are dead. Wrong! It just means that there's no enemies specifically targeting you at the moment. There might be some still lurking by. Don't waste your bullets on breaking those crates. The knife can make that cut. This is a no-brainer, but don't step in the bear traps. You can disarm them by either shooting them or knifing them. Violence solves everything, kids. Those bomb traps can be used on the enemies, as the suicidal maniacs will run straight into them if you stand behind one. If you kill an enemy that has some dynamite lit, it will explode after death, taking his nearby comrades with it. Some treasures can be combined with each other to make valuable ones that sell for more than each item would have individually. Enemies will try to act smart and either sidestep your shots or duck down, but there's no way to dodge with a bullet lodged in their heads, so shoot them before they get the chance. Whenever you're getting overwhelmed by enemies, find an area where you have complete overview over where they're coming from. You know what they say. Keep your friends close, but your enemies at a distance, because those people are trying to kill you and you need to retaliate. Whenever you find a yellow herb, keep it and combine it with red and green herbs. When consuming this, you will gain full HP, but it also increases your maximum health. Just in general, mix the herbs, as they will increase in healing power. Whenever you partake in some of the roller coaster rides the game offers you, enemies might try to hitch a ride with you, but these bread loafers haven't paid fare and you're not letting any free passers on. Shoot them before they have time to jump on whatever bandwagon Leon is riding, and they'll die momentarily. Don't waste all of your money upgrading the first weapons you get. There will be a better version of the weapon later on. Whenever you enter a room and hear this music, that's a big red sign stating safety. Flashbangs will instantly kill enemies with parasites, so if there's a lot of them, just bust off the power of a light. And if you just want to let out some steam, let me show you how. Okay, Ashley, just stand right here. Nothing's gonna happen at all. I promise you, sweetie, nothing's gonna happen at all. I'm just gonna pull out this little thingy-wingy, and you just stand there right there, darling. Let me just, I'm just gonna check if everything's okay. Perfect. Resident Evil 4 is one of my all-time favorite survival horror games, and after replaying it again, I see why I loved it so much back when I first tried it. The intense atmosphere, together with fantastic survival horror elements, makes you cling to your chair from beginning to the end. Exploring villages, castles, and underground facilities makes the game fresh at every turn and never growing stale. You can buy this game on almost every technological application there is today, because they just keep porting it, like just hang on and wait 3 more years and it's gonna be on your calculator. They updated it with HD textures and 60 frames per second, so it still stays relevant and fun. Resident Evil 4 gets my seal of approval, and you should definitely check it out too. I hope this introduction has helped you somewhat in what you should spend your money on next, and until next time, have a good one.